Harry's $29 million problem. The palace officially hits back at Sussex with a new tell-all book. New tell-all royal book puts Harry's 2022 memoir under pressure. He made a commitment that he could net a fortune, but crippling pressure is mounting on Meghan's husband behind the scenes. It took J.D. Salinger 10 years to write Catcher in the Rye. The first part of Harry Potter has been 6 years in the making. Putting pen to paper, or more accurately today, getting your hands on a MacBook Air, was no easy feat, even for those who had earned their publishing titles. Harry is currently working hard on his debut work, a memoir due out next year. In July, it was reported that the royal family was preparing to release a book, making him the most senior member of the British royal family to become a writer since the Duke of Windsor, another famous person, appeared the version A King's Tale in 1951, though former King Edward VIII could at least wait 15 years to publish his narrative. Harry's early reports surmised would make about $29 million, which isn't bad for a completely untested writer who got a B in arts and a D in geography during the semester. Your final exams are abysmal. His ghostwriter, Pulitzer Prize winner J.R. Moringer, is said to have received a stunning $1.3 million for his efforts. The news of the book seems to be on par with the highly lucrative course, joining the seemingly growing list of 8- and 9-figure deals that he and his wife, the Meghan, the Duchess of Cambridge, have signed, telling since the foundation of the royal stables. Lost all in commotion is the fact that the stakes here are huge, and how his book works or doesn't will serve as a pivotal moment and a hinge test onto the extent to which the Sussexes converted the American audience to their cause. Now, new details have emerged about how writer Harry is upset when he's gone, with the impression increasingly looking like pressure is mounting on the rookie storyteller. For one thing, the royal family won't be the only big name to make a palace announcement in 2022, with the announcement that Tina Brown, author of Biography of Diana and former editor of Vanity Fair, will bring out The Palace, Papers Inside the House of Windsor, Truth and Chaos in April. This would be a far cry, far from another on the list of the high-earning Sussex biographies, given that Brown had the perfect connection to the book publisher that promised he would tell the story, the true story about the House of Windsor since the time of Diana, Princess of Wales, and that it was unchangeably the way that readers perceive and understand the royal family. It has been reported that Buckingham Palace is, quote, preparing for the book to hit shelves, even if it's too far away. The pins need to be smashed down corgis, sedated, priceless mise en fortune out of reach. Brown's release date, months before Harry's tomb, probably beats the success of his book. Asked unanswered questions about which member of the royal family made the racist remarks about Archie and their unborn child, this is exactly the kernel size of the nuclear-grade dirt that Brown has named herself, raising the very real possibility that she could name Windsor in the question. If this happens, it could be a huge blow to Harry and his publisher, Penguin Random House. This weekend, The Sun reported that, according to royal insiders, Harry is under tremendous pressure to identify the unnamed royal in his autobiography. Ignoring the devastation this could cause to his internal family relationships and the chance to return to the balcony of Buckingham Palace from a purely commercial standpoint, Brown hits him a punch tit for tat, and it would be devastating. People won't line up to buy a book whose biggest secret was revealed months before. The publication of Brown's book will create a global wave of publicity. The danger here for Harry and his team is that by the time his book is slated for release in late 2022, a certain amount of weariness will be in play. Getting the public to part with their hard-earned money could be a whole lot more of a difficult task if it comes after months of juicy royal revelations that suck up all the oxygen of the press and social media. Then there is the very sharp double-edged sword situation going on here. If not really clean, some dirty clothes and the book may come apart. After all, no one spends $30 reading about Harry's daily diet of activated cashews and the power of compassion, or that Princess Anne once got too competitive playing Monopoly at Sandringham. Insights into Windsor's life are hardly for sale in gold. Consider here, too, checks for $27 million in general are most likely only going to be exchanged for the promise of dirty laundry, chart-topping revelations, not 100,000 words about the conversion of a person to green juice and the power of meditation. However, he will satisfy his editor's most snacking cravings, and honestly, all of us too, and really wash away the dirt in his inner workings. With the firm, he is responsible for ruining his long-standing relationship with his family. Royal biographer Penny Junor told The Sun, and he said, he's been researching his mother's life, so he's going to talk about his parents' marriage, the breakup, the problems, and that could be incredibly damaging to his father and Camilla. So how does Harry placate his lords and trade masters while not severing the last remaining ties to his father, brother, and grandmother in the process? This week, we also learned that if someone is worried that the Duke might not apply himself and leave all the difficult literary stages to his ghostwriter, think again. The Sun also reported that Harry is said to have been in contact with old friends of Princess Diana, and palace sources are surprised at the extent of his involvement. Well, that's a bit low, isn't it? Ask yourself this. Why is the 37-year-old man contacting his mother's friends? The answer may lie in something both he and his brother, Prince William, revealed in 2017. When the brothers were interviewed for the documentary Diana, Our Mother, Her Life and Legacy, one of the filmmakers later revealed that, quote, they started their interviews by saying, we don't really have many memories of our mother. Here's another question worth pondering. Who's going to buy Harry's magnum opus? A poll taken in July found that 78% of Britons were not interested in the book, while in the U.S., 63% said they were not interested at all. Only 9% of Americans are very interested in the job, with 12% being quite interested. There's a lot more to this book's success, a lot more potential than the Sussex's Netflix and Spotify deals. But see, aside from the 33-minute one-off podcast they released last December, the pair have yet to release anything they've created or done. The last book can serve as an early warning system about the kind of reception your audience might receive from their efforts. Consider it also what it would mean if Harry told his story, sharing all his pain and hurt, greeted with what was the equivalent of a global collective shrug at the cash register. If this heartfelt outburst doesn't translate into serious sales figures, it will adversely affect Brand Sussex's banking ability going forward. If this literary outing doesn't hit the bestseller list, the chances of landing more delicious deals coming the couple's way seems less likely, meaning an extraordinary amount is currently drawing on the performance of his work, with nothing short of the future of his relationship with the royal family and whether he and his wife Meghan will be able to continue to turn their discontent into a bank account bulge. That's a huge amount of stress and tension for a first-time writer to deal with. After Salinger published The Catcher in the Rye and faced with global celebrities co-publishing, he often begged, why can't my life be my own? It was a sentiment Harry could deeply associate with these days. Well, that is, if he has time. What does he need to do with all the typing?